The images unroll starting from February 1995, a litany of 15 African-American men dead at the hands of Cincinnati police. Some justified, some led to charges against officers, but all are linked by a growing sense of frustration, discontent, and anger in the black community. Some incidents stand out. March 19th, 1999.
Shots fired! 10-3 shots fired!
Police pulled over Michael Carpenter for driving with expired plates. When Officer Michael Miller reached into the car, Carpenter began driving. He dragged Miller for about 15 feet before hitting a parked van. Miller's partner says Carpenter then began backing toward him. Officer Brent McCurley opened fire, killing Carpenter.
Shots fired. We got a subject down. Officer's okay.
In the aftermath, the rhetoric began to ramp up.
Taking someone's life like that, and it wasn't justified.
Let me assure you, a suspect driving a 2,000-pound chunk of metal called an automobile is not an unarmed suspect.
By November 2000, race relations in Cincinnati were simmering. They boiled over with the death of Roger Owensby Jr. Owensby resisted arrest in Roselawn the night of November 7th. The coroner says Owensby died from a chokehold or from officers piling on him.
He was African American, male, and oftentimes that is enough for you to be stopped by the police in Cincinnati.
But the spark that finally lit the fuse came April 7th, 2001. Timothy Thomas was walking along Vine Street and over the Rhine, enjoying the unseasonably warm weather. Two off-duty officers working at a nightclub spotted Thomas, who was wanted for more than a dozen outstanding misdemeanor warrants. Moments later, the chase was on. Officer Stephen Roach cornered Thomas in an alley off Republic Street.
There was one shot fired by the officer, and the individual emergency medical personnel were called to the scene, and the individual was pronounced dead at the hospital at 3:02 a.m.
Roach told investigators he saw Thomas reach into his waistband as though he was grabbing for a gun. Thomas was not armed, and the fuse was burning toward an explosion.
We're tired of being tired.
Monday afternoon, Thomas's family, pastor, and family attorney took their outrage, questions, and 200 supporters to City Hall.
But if you can't talk, we're going to recess.
Thomas's mother, Angela Leisure, demanded answers.
So I demand to know why.
The answer she received, not enough.
I know that the question is asked exactly what the officer did say. That material was turned over to the grand jury.
The contentious meeting ended with the crowd spilling out into the street.
No one is above the law.
By evening, protesters gathered at police headquarters. Cincinnati police, in riot gear, responded. But Monday night showdown was only a prelude. April 10th, protesters, activists, and rioters were out in force. Police clashed with rioters. By nightfall, the desperate situation turned into anarchy. Violent clashes, arsons, vandalism continued for days. The police regained control of the streets Friday the 13th with an overwhelming show of force, a citywide curfew, and a break in the record high temperatures. In the aftermath came change.
Instead of looking back, let's look forward. Instead of looking at blame, let's look at fixing the problem.
Cincinnati leaders signed the historic collaborative agreement. It lasted until July of 2008 and led to changes in virtually all aspects of policing in Cincinnati. The collaborative led to revolutionary programs such as the Cincinnati Initiative to Reduce Violence, so successful it's been held up as a model for other cities.
And I think people's skepticism will lessen as they see the agreement come to life.
April 2001 remains a watershed moment for Cincinnati. While scars remain, hope emerges. But we're left to ask, what progress have we made? And what is left to do?
Copy, Jewish at 2022. Be advised you're operating on fire ground 2.